Hi, Vince Price here, spiritual medium, psychic, life coach, and whatever you else you want to call me. Well, today is Sunday and beginning of December. I'm going to Kettering Spiritualist CHURch to do the 6 o'clock service. I do Kettering Spiritualist CHURch about 2 or 3 times a year, and Kettering Spiritualist CHURch is where it all started for me. I remember the first day I ever walked through those doors into the church, not knowing what was on the other side, but I knew I had a great deal of interest in all things spiritual, so I knew this was the place to go to meet like-minded souls. So this is where I'm going tonight, and I'd like to talk about the church because I know a lot of people out there that probably don't even realise Kettering Spiritualist Church exists. And we're not just talking about Kettering Spiritualist Church. Every town, usually every decent sized town, has a spirit, I can't even say the right word today, Spiritualist Church, and well worth checking out. There's nothing weird about Spiritualist Church. You usually find that the people that you meet there are some of the friendliest people you could possibly meet, and they're very supportive as well. No weirdos there. You don't get religion rammed down your throat. What you get is just basically a nice community of people that have a lot of knowledge, especially the people that are on the committee. And I'm going to be introducing you to the president tonight, which is Murray. Murray has been the president of Kettering Spiritualist Church for quite a few years now, and I've got to say, in my opinion, one of the best presidents you could have. He runs that church with passion. I have a lot of happy memories with the church. I don't go to the church so much these days because obviously I do this for a living now, mediumship and all that sort of thing. But I always see the church as my rock. It's something that I know, a place that I can go back to if I need recharging. So the church to me is a rock. It's not somewhere I, pardon the pun, go religiously every week to, whereas in the early days I did. Obviously, first of all, I started off out of curiosity because I heard that they had mediums there, and the day I started to look into this mediumship, I hadn't got a clue about what a medium was and what they did. But I went along to a spiritualist church, and I was pleasantly surprised to see such a high standard of mediumship. Every week they have a different medium at these spiritualist churches, and Kettering is no exception. They have 2 services on a Sunday. They have a 3 o'clock service and they have a 6 o'clock service, and they have a different medium every week, and you can see some of the highest standards of mediumship that you're probably ever going to see. Forget going to these big shows and all that sort of thing, the Sally Morgans out there and all that. You can see a much higher, better standard just in your local spiritualist church. You've probably got more of a chance of getting communication from a loved one on the other side. So the whole blog or vlog, whatever we're talking about today, is to introduce you to my favourite little church, Kettering Spiritualist Church, which is sort of near St Peter's Avenue in Kettering. I think you're going to like it. I'm going to video the service tonight. When you go along to the Spiritualist Church, there is no charge to get in. There's just a collection plate, which is you can put a couple of quid in, and that's it really. And I've got to say, what you're going to witness is probably going to surprise you. If you're going through a little bit of what we call crisis in life, or maybe grief or personal issues, I cannot recommend this place for support and guidance. Even though you might be a little bit skeptical about the spirit world, trust me, they are watching you and guiding you, and they will prove it to you. If you go along to a service and the medium there picks you and starts to bring through your dad, your grandma, or whoever, and brings them through with lots of evidence, then they are there to help you. It's a torch to help you to go on and move on in life and not get stuck in pain or sadness or anything like that. Now, let me tell you about my experience and how I became a medium. It's all down to this church and all down to the people that run the church, and it's all voluntary run. There's committee and lots of volunteers, and you always feel welcome when you go there. And as a medium, I've always felt the same with any spiritualist church that I've been to. They always make you feel welcome and give you a nice cup of tea and a cake and a few sandwiches. It's nice. It makes you feel like a little bit of a celebrity. Not saying that really, but that's how it makes you feel. And I just get my expenses, and that's all you get. But the most important part of working and demonstrating at spiritualist churches, if you want to do that, if you want to practice mediumship, the experience you get is invaluable. You couldn't buy that sort of experience. And obviously they run circles, they run development circles, and a development circle is where you can sit with like-minded people, usually run by a medium, and that's where you can learn your skill as a medium and learn how to do mediumship. Mediumship is a gift that I think we all have to some degree, a little bit like we can all sing, but some people just have a little bit better voice or have a little bit a better ability to develop. But to a degree, I would say that we all have the gift of spiritualism, or spiritual gift of some form or another. I know I'm babbling along here, but this church means so much to me. I have a lot of memories to do with people that I met there when I first went there, 20 odd years ago, and a few of them now have passed to the spirit world, and it's they became my friends. And even though I still go to the church every now and again, I always sense their presence there, and some very good friends that I know now are very much in the other world, the spirit world, in a very good place. But I know they still pop in to keep an eye on things. So Kettering Spiritualist Church has a service, and a service is what I'm going to show you today, which consists of prayers, hymns, philosophy, readings, and then obviously doing a demonstration of mediumship. That's what a Spiritualist church does on a Sunday. Now, another thing that's important, another thing that's great about Kettering Spiritualist Church is they have a healing service on a Monday evening, and this starts around 7 to 7:30. And I used to go along every week to practice healing and learn to be a healer, and then I did qualify as a spiritual healer, and I went along every week, and it's free. Again, it's free to go along to. If you feel like you want some healing, you just go there and you sit in a chair, and a couple of experienced healers will lay their hands on you, and you might feel quite a lot better. So well worth going along, even if you just want to go for healing on a Monday evening at 7:30. I must say that Kettering Spiritualist Church, to me, I've seen people come and I've seen people go. You know, people often say that now spiritualist churches should do away with prayers and hymns and all that sort of thing and just focus on the mediumship, whereas I disagree, because spiritualism is a way of life. It's the most important part of a spiritualist church is community, friendship, being with like-minded people. And even to this day, I still, when I see a medium work on the platform, and believe me, at that church I've seen some excellent mediums, it still takes my breath away, it just confirms to me, not that I need confirming to anymore, that there is definitely life after death. You're not going to get religion rammed down your throat, and they don't do anything to do with the Bible, which you get in a lot of churches where they recite stuff, passages from the Bible. You don't get any of that sort of thing. What you just get is philosophy, which is basically focusing on general things in life that are of benefit to you. And philosophy is stuff that you wouldn't understand. I remember when I was a Catholic, I used to go along to St Edward's in Kettering, and every week I went there, and I never felt I was part of something there. I always felt I was slightly alone. And they used to do what the equivalent to a philosophy there, which was an address, and I could never understand what the priest was going on about. Where you listen to the philosophy from a medium in a spiritualist church, and you'll understand everything that's been talked about because it relates to your everyday life. My philosophy tonight is going to be about unconditional love, and which I'll show you a little bit on this recording. Anyway, I am rabbiting on a bit here, so I just wanted to basically tell you about Kettering Spiritualist Church, and to tell you that if you want somewhere that's going to help you get through a stage in your life, or give you guidance, or take away your pain, or whatever you're going through, I truly recommend that you pop along there and see for yourself. So you can't quite see it at the moment because it's all in darkness, but there it is. You can just see one of the lights on at the back. So hopefully the first person you're going to meet is the President, Murray. Lovely chap. Here it is. So it's on St. Peter's Avenue, as you can see there. They've just had a 3 o'clock service today, and what's the time now? Let's have a look. It's 5:30, sorry, and I'm doing the 6 o'clock service. So the doors are all shut, so they'll all be having their cups of tea and stuff. And who's on today? Oh look, it's somebody called Vince Price. Let's go through it. So when I first came here, I had no idea what a spiritualist church was about, and I was faced by these doors, which actually were here, but they've been now moved to here, and this is now the entrance because they had to put a disabled toilet in. So let's go in and meet some of the people from the church. Hopefully this is the reception area. Oh, nice and warm in here.
Hi, Vince.
Hello. I'm just doing a vlog of Kettering Spiritualist Church for you, and I've just told everybody that you are the president. So this is Murray. Say hello, Murray, to about 3,000 people.
Right.
I'm going to do a promotion of the church, so because a lot of people don't know about this church. So this is it. Look at this lovely building, eh? So I told you they'd think I was crazy. And this is the rostrum where the medium and the chairman and whoever's doing the reading stands, which I'll be standing. This is the room where we sit, tiger on the rostrum. So a very warm church. It feels warm in here tonight, I've got to admit. They're preparing for Christmas time. So was the service good this afternoon?
Yes, lovely.
Who was it? Neil, somebody Neil?
Pete Barry
Oh yeah.
from Enderby.
All right. Has he been here before?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
He's a top joke, isn't he? When he's up in the rostrum. Yeah, no, we were very good.
Good evidence. Good evidence.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Good. Oh well. At least I've had something this Sunday. Can't get it. I could only go downhill from this point onwards, can I?
And this been like this, Vince. He's a hard act to follow. But you should be thinking he was only the warm-up act.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how people turn up.
Well, I've put it on Facebook, so I know there's some people coming because they rang me up and said, "How much does it cost?" They were Irish, by the way. "How much does it cost to come to the church today?" And I went, "Nothing. Just £1 in the collection plate." Oh, we'll be there then. So let's hopefully they'll be here. So yes.
I'm cheering for you.
Lot of
I'm cheering for you. So.
Okay.
Don't hold that against you. But
I don't mind what you hold against me, mate, as long as it's not. Anyway, everything good with the church? Everything good? Everything good with the church?
yeah, good. Yeah.
Yeah. Healing services going strong and
Yes, all
development and everything? Good.
Did you want to come to your reading?
Yes. Thank you. When you finished?
Yeah, I've finished this one now.
Yeah, when you're finished.
Can you take sugar now?
One, please.
And milk?
Yeah.
I'll sort that out for you.
Almost a Mexican way.
Can't do that. The steps getting steeper and
We should have an escalator.
an excavator.
Yes.
It's going to be one of those meetings. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Kettering Spiritualist CHURCH service. And before we start, can I ask people to put, if they haven't already done so, turn their mobile phones off or whatever, put it in silent, because we are getting on messages from the spirit world, if possible. So, and I had a penny somewhere, so that's fine. Yeah. It would be great pleasure to introduce Vince Price as our medium for this evening. He's from Latimer, and I think he's I think everybody here probably knows him.
Celebrity. You can tell by the audience.
All I'm waiting for him to say, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. But not yet, wait until 7:30, Vince, you can leave then.
Yeah.
Right, can I commence with our healing hymn, which is number 3, and this will be followed by a few moments of meditation for those in need of healing, and those names listed in other churches and in our healing books here for both humans and animals, and anybody else that springs to mind that needs healing. So, here we go. Right, medium's going to do the opening prayer, and this will be followed by singing the Lord's Prayer, which is narrated in the hymn books. So, I'll hand it over to you.
Bless you. Friends, we can just go into the silence for a few moments and think about those around you that need support, guidance, healing and strength. Great Spirit, Father God, once again, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve, to be an ambassador for the spirit world. I want to give praise and thanks to this lovely church and who work so hard, those that work so hard to keep the doors open. Great Spirit, as we know, there are things going on around this world that are a little bit worrying, but there's nothing some of us can do but pray. And we ask that we know the power of Spirit, we know the power of the people, and the people, the Spirit within the people is starting to come forward, and people are starting to show their strength and their character. Great Spirit, I ask for the healing to go over to this Mother Earth and to the animal kingdom and the plant life. And I now ask that this service be left in your care and keeping, knowing all that will be done and said tonight will be done in your name, which is love, which is light. Amen.
Amen. Our second hymn is hymn number 115 in your hymn book, and it's Thou grace divine, encircle all, a shoreless, soundless sea, wherein at last our souls must fall, O love of God most free. So can those who can stand, please stand with the handkerchief. the reading out today. I've done it a couple of years ago, but it seemed very appropriate at the moment, so it's called Bernarda's Home. She stood alone, shivering, pale, wide-eyed. Many folks hurried across the bridge in the heart of London, all bending before the bitter winds, but the ill-clad child remained motionless. At last one of the hurrying crowd paused, peered at the thin face, noted the hands were blue with cold, and saw the bewilderment and panic lurking in those white eyes. He was a young doctor from Ireland, and there, on the London Bridge, he asked one simple question: "What are you doing here?" "Waiting for God," was the curious reply. "But why out here?" The man's voice was gentle. "Father is dead," says the child. "Mother is dead too. But before she died, she said God would take care of me and that I must wait for him. I've waited a long time at home, so I now come out to look for him." Moved to tears, the young doctor said in his choking voice, "And you have found him." That could have been regarded as blasphemous, but it was not meant to be, and in a way it was true. Gently the young doctor led the small child to his own home, gave her warmth and food and comfort, and promised her security. And he kept his promise, for he founded Dr. Bernarda's Homes. But it was on a London bridge at night that the mighty work began. May God add a great understanding to those words. Right, Vince is going to do his address, so I'll hand it over to you, Vince.
Okay. Now, my philosophy tonight was going to be about unconditional love, but Spirit told me, no, you're not talking about unconditional love. You're going to talk about something else. And this something else is something that I've been blessed with all my life, and obviously it's something you can't see. Makes the mind boggle, doesn't it? Just by saying those words, but it's actually humour. It's about laughter. Now, have we all had a good laugh today?
Yes.
Have we all had, who's had one of those laughs where, it almost makes you feel like you're breaking in half? Does anybody have one of them today? No? They're great, aren't they?
Yeah.
Those ones where you're literally choking and you just can't stop laughing, and, it's just... And to me, what is laughter? Laughter is, as King Doug would say, is happiness, isn't it? Happiness, the greatest gift that we possess. And I think we should use it more, because at the end of the day, I think laughter is, I always say it's the best medicine. And if you go and see a doctor, it's often you find that you're going to see a clown, and if you don't laugh after going to see a doctor, then there's something really wrong with you. Okay, that was a joke, by the way. I'm sure there, But wonderful, the thing about humour, and for me, humour was always a way of masking my nerves. And that's why I still continue to use humour when I do mediumship on the platform. Now I'm known as the comedian of mediums, because to me it's a great, humour is a great medium in itself. It cuts down the seriousness of something. It also brings people together, doesn't it? Because people, especially when they see me on a rostrum, they have, especially if you've never seen me before, you could probably go to think, oh God, I wonder what he's like, is he any good, he's a bit fat, but luckily his striking good looks cut through that, that's what you were thinking, I could tell. So, but as soon as we work with humour, we all become one, don't we? We all become connected, and this is the thing that I love most of all about laughter and humour. It's an expression that, I just, when you're feeling a little bit low or you're feeling a little bit depressed, you put something on the telly, don't you? Whereas sometimes, when you're feeling low, you put something on that makes you even more miserable, don't you? You not notice that? So, say for instance your boyfriend or girlfriend's finished with you or whatever, I think I watched Harry Met Sally 50 times when I broke up with a girlfriend years ago, and I think I know every line from the film. But I was more wallowing in it in those days. But now I realise that with laughter that I find, humour, when you find something that's really funny in life, it's amazing, that power, that energy, and it just makes you feel so much better. Don't care what you have, what you're dealing with in life. If you can step back and maybe see the funny side of things. I mean, when I was sitting here up here tonight, I was just imagining Simon Cowell standing here with a buzzer, you know, for the people singing away, you know, but because, I mean, it looked like a school assembly, you know when you're in a school assembly, you're sitting on the floor cross-legged, didn't you? Nobody really wanted to sing, did they? They just wanted to get to the class and have their milk or something like that in those days. Probably some of you don't remember that. I absolutely hated the milk, to be honest. Can you imagine freezing bottles of milk, you know, give me coffee or a warm cup of cocoa or something, but not milk in the middle of winter. But yeah, humour, laughter is my philosophy, and I don't think I'm ever going to change it, because to me it just raises the energy, raises the vibration, and you can just see things in a different way. Recently I got a photograph sent to me out of the blue of me when I was about 2-3 years old, you know, and a friend of mine, his auntie, apparently knew my family when I was little, and she said, "Oh, I've got this picture of Vincent," and out of the blue, there's a picture I've never seen before in my life. You know, that was incredible. I thought, God, that's me. God, I was good looking then as well. Beautiful blonde hair, but it was a moment in time. And I remember I wouldn't say I was ugly when I was born, but the doctor did slap my mother. Because, you know, but on a serious note, I've lost the plot here. I think we're going to veer back to unconditional love in a minute. It's just, this is what I do. I guess when I do philosophy, I go slightly off track here. But humour, laughter, we watch these, I mean, has anybody actually laughed at Michael McIntyre yet?
No.
Have you?
Don't know.
Can you remember something particular that you laughed at?
His impression of the spices in the cupboard.
Okay.
Just I found that very funny.
So that was one of them.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah?
I found it pretty funny.
But was that the only bit?
I'm sure there were other bits.
Okay. But generally, what we're getting now is a very intelligent type of humour, aren't we? You know, we're getting a humour where almost, if we don't laugh, we think, oh God, we must be a bit thick because other people are laughing, and are we not getting the joke here? Whereas, you know, the Ken Dodds, the Eric and Ernie and all those sort of people, Dad's Army, you know, you just had to look at them, didn't you? And you found them, well I did, I found them very humorous. And it just seemed to trigger something in me, because I think we like to look at other people's misfortunes, don't we? Let's be honest with you. I mean, if we see somebody walking down the street and they look like, you know, they've spent lots of money on clothes, and we're thinking, oh, look at them, eh? You know? And then they trip over or something like that, and suddenly, oh, they're just human, the same as everybody else, you know? And we see these celebrities, these film stars, and think, God, but they're human. They're no different to us. They suffer from illnesses and problems just the same. You know, yes, obviously they're on a different level financially, but at the end of the day, we are all in the same boat. We are all human. So to me, laughter brings people together. And it's funny because in the olden days, they used to have, you know, Laurel and Hardy, didn't they? And all these, and they didn't have sound, did they? So it was just pure visual. And that, to me, is what says it all. Because there didn't need to be a dialogue. It just needed to be what you saw. You know, you see comedians now, the ones that are visual, like Ken Dodd, all these, it's just in that sense, it's funny. But to me, laughter has to be something that's just spontaneous. I mean, like what happened there, your phone going off. I nearly fell into pieces there. I thought, is that God ringing or something like, if it is, don't reverse the charges, cost you a fortune. It was comical. You know, it wasn't so comical on Murray's face when I looked at his face. If looks could kill.
It probably would.
But it was wonderful because it broke the ice, and that's that sort of thing I like, because you know we can all do things military standard, but sometimes we can't always control everything in life. So the Sally Morgan lookalike here tonight, you should be honoured. We've actually had to pay to get here because we're trying to get a bigger congregation. So we thought if we had hired a Sally Morgan lookalike, we'd get more people in. But it hasn't worked. Who should we hire for next week? Harry Edwards? What if it's a Harry Edwards lookalike? So yeah, so laughter, you see, isn't it wonderful? Probably wasn't the right thing to do. But I stand by laughter, I stand by humour, I stand by the power and the energy that it can embrace people, and the healing side of humour. Yeah, see, there's this lovely lady here, she's sitting there looking at me, and I can it's almost like she's got subtitles coming above her head.
Yeah.
And I can almost read what she's thinking. And I know one of them is, I know some of the words are, I wish you would get on with it. It's funny, you can see subtitles of people thinking. It's brilliant. Oh yeah, good. You're laughing, you see? I found the switch, didn't I?
No, you did.
Yeah.
Now can I ask you to continue in your love and understanding up to the roster, and Vince is going to give his demonstration of mediumship, so over to you, Vince.
Thank you. I thought you were going to say dementia then. When I was looking, I see spirit, you see. When I see spirit, I don't see them as you're looking at me, I see them in my mind's eye. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, two ladies at the back, your mum and daughter? Yeah, your mum and your daughter. Yeah. I do feel with you that you both have, you know, a strong interest in this sort of thing. And you really, like me, when I first started going to Spiritualist CHURCH, I was just fascinated. How do they do it? How does it work? And I don't think I've ever ceased to be amazed by the spirit world, what they can do and what they can make happen, you know? And often the things that happen are the least expected things. You know, when things don't, like something looks like it's never going to happen, and suddenly, out of the blue, we forget those times, don't we? Look back, we forget those times, those eureka moments, which are unexpected. And I do feel that you've possibly had something like that quite recently. It's almost like, oh, this is amazing. Okay? Be prepared for much, much more. Because as I'm looking at you, I see a very big, tall man standing behind you. And he makes me feel like he's your father or connection to you. But he's a tall man, and he was a strong man. And I've got to say, it's almost like I feel this pride with him, with you. Both of you, but I'm not saying he was into all of this.
No.
But now he is, because he's there. He said, if you'd have told me this, you were going along to something like this when I was alive, I would probably told you, what are you doing that for? You know, they're all a load of, you know. But now he says, because I'm over here, I have to tell you that it is real. And one thing I know about your father, he was a brilliant communicator.
Yeah.
And that's why he's so easy to link with. He's talking about family of five. I don't know what that means, whether you're part of a family of five.
No.
Sorry?
No, but I've got 4 children in this myself, so.
Well, that's a family of 5 then, isn't it?
Family of 5, isn't it?
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Somebody punched me in the face.
Sorry.
Yeah, go me.
Not cold.
Is that not that bad, am I? And you know, I don't know who plays the board games or Monopoly, or somebody's got a love of that, and he liked all that sort of thing, and a game of cards.
Yeah.
And he also liked a secret drink as well. He said, because I used to have a bottle of whiskey or brandy tucked away under the bureau, didn't I? And he said, when everybody were out the way, I went, he used to have a, okay? And he said, I never changed because that was one of his, he wasn't a man of excess, but he liked his little pleasures, you know, and he liked to break the rules. Do you understand? Because he talked about mum, her indoors, and he talks about, she used to rule it like a rod of iron, didn't she?
Yeah.
So that's the only way we could get away with things, by doing things which were a little bit naughty. You understand?
Yes.
But your dad had a way of winking, didn't he?
He did.
When you knew he was going like that,
Yeah.
didn't he? And he said, I did that so you knew I wasn't being serious, or don't tell your mum, sort of thing. Okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you about the mince pies. There's a memory to do with mince pies. Obviously, it's this time of year, so.
I was talking about that the other day to my husband, how I used to make mince pies when I was little, whilst Dad was at the Working Men's Club having a few beers.
Yeah.
He used to come home a little bit worse for wear from the beer, but we were talking about that the other day.
There you are then.
Yeah,
So
we're talking about him.
he overheard you. And he says that you've had a you've decided you either want to throw all your clothes out, or you want to have a complete change of wardrobe. You understand that?
Yeah.
And you've been laying them all on the bed, deciding what you want to get rid of. And it's almost like about 3 items have gone, and the rest have gone back in the wardrobe again, haven't they?
That is true.
Yeah, and he said, I laughed my head off because you were like, Mum, she couldn't get rid of anything,
No.
could she? And when she passed, Mum,
Well, yeah.
because she said it took ages to clear out all the stuff, didn't it?
Absolutely ages, yeah.
And he says that, see, now this is what you call a good spirit communicator. This is easy. And I love good communicators, because he was a good communicator on the earth, so he would be a good communicator on the other side. Now he's also saying September is very significant.
It's his birthday.
Yeah, see, very easy to connect with. But I'm enjoying your dad because I like him. You understand? He wasn't the best at do it yourself, he says to
No,
me.
he wasn't.
He said I could put something up and I can guarantee it would fall down within, and I do feel recently something that he may have assembled or put together is starting to show a little bit of wear. Okay, so be careful, he said, because it's going to fall down at any time.
Okay.
All right. He's also talking about his nose, or something to do with either breathing problems or somebody having problems with bleeding or something. It might not be him. You might be talking.
He used to get really bad sinus.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay, really used to play him up.
Yeah, it did.
He says, and he's now going cross-eyed like that.
Yeah.
You understand? He did that, didn't he?
Yeah.
And you could whistle like
Yeah.
that, couldn't he?
Yeah.
See? Now, on a serious note, I don't want, because your dad is not a serious man.
No.
I think he's a little bit annoyed about the money situation.
Okay.
It's like he didn't spend it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying now somebody's umming and ahhing about spending it. He said, don't do that. Enjoy it. Because I didn't.
Okay.
Understand?
Makes sense, yeah.
He said, because you're thinking, oh no, shouldn't do that, it's dad's. He said, look, love, what are you going to do? Hand it to your children and then they're not going to spend it. Somebody's got to spend it, enjoy it. And when you enjoy it and spend it, do it in he'll enjoy it with you.
Yeah, yeah.
If you plan a holiday or something, he'll come with you. Alright? Just don't go skiing, he says. Because you know what happened with the skiing. He's going on about a cat now. A cat that was buried in the garden, or something about, why did you show me a cat? It's got a cat up there in the spirit world.
Don't know.
Good.
See, we've had cats when
Yeah.
the kids were small, yeah.
Okay, maybe he's got one of your cats.
Probably.
Black and white one, they're all black and white, aren't they? Yeah. Somebody like to gamble on the horse. No, I'm not about big gambling here. He's talking about the GGs
Yeah,
or the
that's
pool.
Dan.
He said, I like to have a little bit of a tipple.
Yes.
But again, don't tell your mum. But he said he lost more than he actually
He did.
made. You know, he said I always bet on the horse that never came in. But he said I did that because the odds, the winnings were more if you won, but they never did. All right, lots and lots of love from this gentleman, and I feel Mum's with him, and I do feel she almost feels like she's kicking him in the shins, you know, because I feel like she's trying to say, let me have a word.
Oh, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And she's also talking about, there's somebody, I don't know if you have a sister or brother, she said, but there's somebody in your family that's nothing like her. I don't know if she's like
Nothing
you.
like me.
Yeah.
I've got a brother that's nothing like me.
Yeah, it's almost like there was a joke in the family,
Yeah.
who is the real father
That's
or mother,
right.
you understand?
She's a redhead.
But it's almost like she's saying, I wished I'd been more like you.
Okay.
Because she just feels that she couldn't relax, she couldn't show her true, you know, she had to be this rigid person.
Yes.
And she regrets having to be that
Okay.
person. Anne connects somewhere around it, or Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah? But she said, I regret having to have lived a rigid life. And she said, don't you do that.
Okay.
Okay?
All of that makes sense. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Be happy.
Yeah.
I do feel she's a lot more happier and softer in herself than she was. But she said it's how I was brought up.
Yes.
I was one of those children you had to be seen but not heard.
Yeah.
You understand? And she's talking about granddad, you understand. Okay? I'll leave his love with you.
Oh,
A
thank you.
wonderful communicator, and I'm sure you'll get plenty more from him in the future.
Thank you very much.
Bless you.
It's very-
Now we're going to go to the cheap seats now. We're going to go on this side of the room. I want somebody over here that used to know a young fella that was quite tall, skinny, and had long blonde hair, and looks like he's wearing glasses. He's shown himself in his 30s here, maybe a little bit younger. I don't think he got any older than that. That's the gentleman I'm seeing. He's tall, long blonde hair down to here, so I've got a very 70s feel with him. Does that ring true to anybody as a memory of somebody they knew?
Kind of.
Okay. What bit have I got wrong?
He was 42.
Okay.
Blonde hair down to
Yeah.
here. Sometimes tied back
Yeah.
in ponytail.
Well, he hasn't got it tied back at the moment, but I'll let you know when he
Not
does.
wavy or curly-ish.
There you are. Split that hair.
Yeah, right then.
Can we just... So you knew him?
Yeah.
Because it's like a skinny guy, blonde hair, down to here, looks
Yeah.
like it waves out a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely got that sort of 70s look. I'm not saying he
Yeah.
was 70s, but
No, it was,
I said he was in his 30s, didn't I?
yeah,
So you're saying he was a little bit older
he
than
was
that?
42.
Okay, well that's what I'm seeing. So he's just walked over there to you and he's just giving you a clip round the ear.
That's nothing unusual for him.
But not switching your phone off, he says. No, I'm joking. Or am I? He looks like he's grabbing you and shaking you, as if he wants to G you up, as if he wants to get you motivated. Because he says that your back's against the wall at the moment, and he says that everybody seems to be having a go at you, but he wants to stand in your defence and say, just plough back through them, you know, and run and don't look back.
Yeah.
You understand that? He said because it's like he's trying to impress upon me that you've given them so many opportunities, and you know, nothing's changing, is it?
No.
So this is a time for action, not words.
Okay.
Okay, actions speak louder than words here.
Mhm.
What if I got to say donuts to you?
Donuts.
Yeah. Who's got a thing about donuts?
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me all these lovely donuts and sugar and you know.
Yeah.
I could just do all of them now. Now, again, who is this man? Is he your brother? Who is he to you?
Ex-fiance.
Ex-fiance.
Mhm.
Good. Because now I can fit the bits he showed me in my mind that I couldn't reveal if I thought it was your brother.
Okay.
He was very, I'm going to say hard work, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because he had his own way.
Mm.
It was either his way or no way, wasn't it?
That's it.
And it ended up being the highway. But you gave it a go, didn't you?
Yeah.
You know, it's like a bucking bronco. You hung in there, but eventually you just had to say no more. He understands that, okay? And he also wants to give you a cake at this moment in time to celebrate something, okay?
Okay.
What is there to celebrate at this time?
Grandson's birthday.
Yeah.
Son's birthday.
Okay. Did he break his toe or his foot or something? Because I just suddenly saw him limping around and look, he's got...
Possibly. He did karate, so
Did
possibly
he?
then, yeah. And football. So.
But he's going like that. I think he's trying to be a bit dramatic at how he passed.
It was very sudden.
Probably that's why he's going like, that's his humour coming forward here.
Mm.
He said you were only recently looking at a photograph of him,
Yeah.
and it's almost like the dress sense was a bit, you know, I'm not saying he was wearing flares or something like that, but I feel he had his own dress style.
Yeah.
Okay? Now you have a daughter,
I did.
and he's making a reference to your daughter.
Okay.
How old would she be now?
She passed when she was 29.
Well, I'm not saying he's met up with her, but suddenly I'm getting somebody that's got lovely long brown hair,
Yeah.
very attractive, and can I say, voluptuous, is that the right? I don't know if that's the right word, voluptuous.
Voluptuous.
Yeah, that's it. That's the look. You understand?
Yeah.
And he's bringing her forward here.
Mm.
And he's saying to me that you keep thinking that she's not coming forward, she's not communicating. So I've dragged her forward for you, so you know that she's here. And I hear her saying, Mum, Mum, I'm okay. She's not the most talkative person in the world at the moment. I feel like your daughter's making me aware that you didn't communicate with her at the end.
Yeah.
You understand? And you regretted that, not being able to say goodbye. And she
I
said,
was with her at the end.
yeah, but you didn't get to say,
Mm.
you understand?
Yeah.
She said you pondered on that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't do that, she says. One more day, she says. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Yeah.
We
She's
go
off now
shop,
for a cup
go,
of tea, but
yeah, go shopping, have a donut, you know, catch up. She hasn't missed a thing. She's with you all the time. And she says she's also held you back many times from,
yeah.
because you nearly went off on one a few times, she says, and I've held you back. Don't lower yourself. Because you see, people wind you up. And if you react like that, you're doing exactly what they want you to do. Don't fall for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You'll get the last laugh.
Slowly catch the monkey.
Mm.
Yeah.
So your ex-fiance
Mhm.
and your daughter have both come in here. It's like Carol, Karen.
His sister.
Sorry?
Carol, his sister.
Okay. Deborah, Debbie.
Another sister.
Okay. I want your daughter's name. Elizabeth Taylor. No, I'm joking. I don't know, Elizabeth, I don't know, but I've got to say, I'm very good at getting everybody else's name, but the one I want to get through, I don't hear it. So it's something about your name and her name.
Mhm.
Is that right? Did you name her after you?
After her cousin.
Okay. I knew that. Sorry? Have we got a minute or two? Which one would you like to hold hands with?
Both.
Both hands then. Close your eyes. And friends, any of you that wants to connect with the spirit world privately, just sit at home, hold your hands out, and you'll feel them come in and make their presence known to you. Because love is the connection between this world and the next. Okay? Feeling it? Yeah? Bless you. Thank you, friends. I hope you've enjoyed the service, and apart from a little bit of controversy earlier on, do forgive me, but
Thank you.
have a nice, safe journey home tonight. Good night.
Thank you.
Just settling in here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vince.